So, quick summary on my hospital stay part one, because there's a couple of parts, but I'm not going to bore you with all the boring details. There's just some funny or cool stuff that I wanted to share with you about the experience. So, the operation was successful. I think they had me on the operating table for about 3 hours. I was out for probably 6 or 7 once they put me under to do all the pre-op prep, the operation itself, and then the close-up, and then me in the recovery room. They removed 40 centimetres of my bowel, believe it or not, and the tumour that they took out was 3 centimetres across. It had grown, so your bowel has multiple layers to it, 4 layers, and the tumour had grown through all the layers of the bowel. But the good news was there wasn't any spread anywhere else. And I had follow-up CT scans on all my other organs while I was still in hospital, and I got the all clear from all of them. So it had started to grow out of the bowel lining, but hadn't spread anywhere else. They also removed some lymph nodes, so those were sent to the lab to be assessed for what they were. If they had anything in them that shouldn't be, as well as the tumour, a part of the tumour itself. And then I asked, I think, my nurse or somebody, what happens to all the bits that are cut out of people, so they get sent to be incinerated. So I don't know what that job title is, but a bit of a weird one. Anyway, the cool thing that I wanted to share was on the night that I got admitted into the surgical team, Mo, the night resident, came to see me to talk me through the operation, and it came up that I was an athlete and I was a cyclist, and she mentioned that they had a cyclist on their surgical team, a cyclist called Anne Ewing. Did I know her? And I was like, are you kidding? Anne Ewing is in your team? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I rode at Delhi Commonwealth Games with Anne as part of Team Scotland's cycling team. So Anne was a road rider, I was a track rider, so we were never actually in the same events together, but we shared our holding camp out in Europe in the run-up to Delhi Games before we travelled out, and we've seen each other kind of on and off now and again since 2010. So Anne was in the surgical team, was starting nights the following day, and how's that for serendipity for you? Anne's worked in lots of hospitals all over Scotland. She hasn't picked her, I guess, specialty. She's worked across a lot of different departments in different hospitals. And she happened to be in the surgical team that I landed in January 2021. So the day after my operation in the morning, my surgeon and his team, support team, were doing their rounds, and Anne jumped into the room, and I didn't recognise her at first because she had a mask on, and she sort of was like, hiya, and I was like, hi, feeling like rough as, and then I realised it was Anne, and I just started crying because I'd had such a traumatic deer stuck in the headlights, poked, prodded, cut, stoma fitted, and here was somebody who's so lovely and kind and thoughtful, who's an expert in that area, who popped in to see me at the end of her night shift, and we had a quick chat, and then the surgeon did all his checks and whispered in my ear. I think this was Saturday morning, so Anna whispered in my ear, oh, you'll be out here by Thursday, definitely. So that was kind of, she knows what it's like to be an athlete and how quickly, if you maintain those habits on a consistent basis, she knows how quickly an athlete's body can adapt and flex and heal. And she was able to give me that slightly different athlete slash surgeon opinion, which gave me strength through the rest of the week. And she popped in either at the beginning of her shift or at the end of her shift, just to say hi and check and see how I was doing. So Anne will feature later on in these videos, but that was my first, like, such a nice surprise, and just made me think sometimes maybe people are meant to be in the right place at the right time, and Anne was certainly that for me. That kind of first morning of waking up in hospital after having a major operation and a stoma fitted. So that was the cool thing for the day. And also just at that point, a little funny, very quick funny story, and then I'll finish up. So once they've fitted a stoma bag, normally they say it can take up to 2 days for it to start working. If your bowels haven't moved a lot, they can get a bit sluggish. So Fadlo, my surgeon, came round in the morning and asked, has your stoma started working? And through morphine drip and a little bit of the giggles, I was like, is this a joke? This bag has been full 3 times already since I woke up, like full to the max. And the nurses on the night shift couldn't believe how quickly it started functioning. So, you know, even before Anne had said your athlete body will help you no end, you know, rather than it taking a couple of days for the stoma to start working, it pretty much started working instantly. So at least I know my bowel's good at contracting, and that didn't disappear even though it wasn't able to do much in December time. So yeah, true to athlete form, within a couple of hours the stoma was working, and it's continued to work ever since, thank God. So anyway, that's me for today. Little stories from the hospital. Got a couple more tomorrow, and then I'll take you on the journey after I left hospital and some of the stuff that I've been getting up to since. Bye.